Alright guys, Hazing here, welcome back to the channel for another Cyber Rebellion video. So in this video I'm going to be going over what I think is the best composition that you can currently build in game. It's my own opinion and it's going to be the team build that will push you first. It will make you clear the most amount of content with the minimal amount of effort. So essentially you can call it meta defining. I'm going to go over the team, I'm going to go over different ways that you can build a team, whether that is free to play, pay to play, whatever. There's different variations to this team, but ultimately they will end up yielding the same results, some obviously faster than others. So the team is the Bleed Broken Armour setup, okay? Now for me, I think this is pretty much the optimal setup. So this is your high end, your more pay to win sort of a composition. These are the characters that I would hope to target and build. They are going to give you the best results. I'll explain a little bit about what's going on here, because even if you are free to play, there's certain elements of this you will need even free to play. Two in particular. So this team, how it basically functions is you have your main unit here, not here, here, Hound. She is predominantly going to be essentially here to give us bleed, right? She's going to put AoE bleed on every single member of the squad. Why is that important? Because when they have bleed, they become susceptible to follow-up attacks from the unit who is key in every single one of these setups. Eric. This man will attack anyone who has bleed or broken armour as soon as they fall below 50% HP. He will literally mop the floor with anyone who is still standing. I'll show you that in action in a minute, right? Now, the reason I'm saying optimal is if he only kills one unit, for example, he then puts broken armour status on everyone. So it means they are more susceptible to taking more damage, okay? Now, if you have built your teams correctly, you will put more attack on Data Hub than you will on Eric. So if you look here, Data Hub, I've got an attack up at 22,000, and on Eric, I've got his attack at 19,000, and Eric's got more stars. I've done that through the use of gear. I've basically put gear on her to make her stronger, and the reason for that is Hound will data link with any unit who is the highest for attack. Now what data linking does is essentially after a certain amount of time it will trigger a follow-up free ult for both units, meaning if you've built your Data Hub who gets more damage when people are getting bleed and armor break status, she's going to do huge numbers, okay? So this is what I would say is the more pay, I think that's a good way of putting it, the more pay type of team using the bleed or broken armour situation. I'll show you in action just now. So I'll let you see how it functions here basically, right? Now because of the team that I've got using the new unit, I could maybe one-shot this team on the first turn, but I don't want to take the risk of that, so I'm not going to use Vera's ult here because there is a chance it could finish the battle. So I'm only going to use Hound and Data Hub, and hopefully what that will do is that will put them under 50%, and at that point you can see where Eric basically becomes the goat of all goats, okay? So hopefully with these two attacks alone it should be enough to put them below 50%. Maybe I'll regret not using Vera's ult, but we'll soon see, right? So that's everyone now got bleed on them, apart from one unit actually, I just noticed. Now you can see, because everyone's got bleed, now everyone's got broken armour, Eric just starts to go absolutely ham and picking off everyone who is below 50% HP. Now, that in itself is fantastic, right? Absolutely fantastic. So this should probably finish this off now, I would suspect. If not, Eric should now just pop up. Big numbers. Almost finished, right? Almost finished. So you can see there, the key to that isn't really the 2 units who are putting the status in. The key to it is actually Eric, right? And Data Hub if you've got her. But I would say that the most pivotal piece of the puzzle is Eric, because he is going to go absolutely ham and he is going to kill everyone because he just does so much damage. And if you are not trying to build your team in the way that I'm building my team, which is meaning you're giving more of your best equips to Data Hub, you'd be giving them to Eric and he would be doing more damage with those follow-up attacks, right? So that is the kind of setup you'd be using if it was a more pay-to-win type setup. So I'll show you a more free-to-play version of that, and you can see how it would still be viable for even a free-to-play player. So if you're going to go for a more free-to-play friendly version of this team, see, just so that I don't confuse anyone, we'll just take her out of the team, right? So if you want to go for a more free-to-play friendly version of this team, you'll see here that every single unit on this squad is a unit that you can fusion yourself, apart from Eric. Eric is the only unit that you need to summon, right? But he is key, you need him, okay? But for broken armour, we've basically put in Leva. She will give us broken armour to every single unit. And for our group bleed, we have gone with Plague Huntress Pastoral, okay? That is what we're going to use to do the same thing that we just did, and we'll see what the outcome is. Now again, Eric, however, is key to this setup working well, okay? So let's go in and I'll show you the example of it working free to play. So we're going to have a look at it just now. I must just say, while saying free to play, right, some people are going to be like, oh, you think you're using all these double S rank units. Ultimately, the reason why Data Hub is being used here is because she's a high impact AoE unit that is going to get a lot of damage off of the bleeds, off of the broken armours that we potentially get. But the key here is really just to get the units below 50% so that you can get Eric to start attacking. So if you don't have her, if you've got like a strong Rick Raiden or even the level below double S for your Raiden, any unit that can do a lot of damage AoE and bring them down to below 50%, as long as you've got bleed or broken armour status on them, you'll start to see this kicking in. So anyway, for this rotation, because it's the one that's here, this is where we're going to apply our bleed. It's going to be from our Plague Huntress. Then we are going to apply our AoE from Data Hub. I'm not sure if this was going to be enough damage. It might actually have to be an extra round, because like I said before, obviously if you get stronger units, this could go a little bit faster for you. And the thing here is, you're not guaranteed to get bleed on every single unit with her, essentially. If we had got the other unit to do her broken armour, that would have been a little bit better for us overall, but it didn't show up in the rotation, so I'm just going to have to wait around to show you it working now. So this is us now coming into this round. So now we'll pop this. Everyone at this point is going to have broken armour cast on them. We will just pop that from Eric. That should be enough to hopefully now have everyone under 50%. I don't think it was actually. There you go, that's one from Eric, bang, big hit. There's another from Eric, she's dead. There's another from Eric, he's dead. And then, while it did take a little bit longer, we've only got the one unit left. We will just do this now, and that'll be it done. And he'll follow up surely. Broken armour, bang. So you can see there that you don't necessarily need all the highest ranked units in the game. I would say that it would be a bonus for you to have them though, because if, for example, I show you again, using that exact same team, exact same setup, go back in fact, I want to show one change actually. If I put that new unit back on, I'm not going to actually use her, okay? I'm just going to have her on the team. So we go back in here, and we look at doing the same thing again. So we've got our units all ready to go. Oh, it's not too bad actually. So if I just, let me see here, if I just make sure I've got the dogs, which is what I'm looking for. Nope. And typical, it's not going to give me the dogs, is it? Never gave me the dogs, unfortunately. It's just the way the cookie crumbles. So we will go with that. Everyone should get broken armour off of that. Now hopefully, because we've just got that new unit sitting on the team, passively, I'm hoping that she'll give us enough damage here that we should see him popping off a little bit more. This is the same. I don't think this is the same round. Go with one down. And then again, I'm just going to resist using that new unit, okay? So that you don't think I'm just showing you the most powerful units. Now everyone's got bleed on them, right? The problem is she doesn't put bleed onto everyone guaranteed. Hound does, right? That's what makes Hound the unit you really want to work towards. Apart from data synchronization and things like that, giving you more opportunities to get more attacks, do more damage, she is going to guarantee that you get bleed on every single unit, which obviously makes her a much better option. So if we pop you away, if we put that onto you, we get rid of that, there you go. Hopefully now that should be enough. Eric, another one from Eric. And then we're going to just have to wait until he takes his last attack. He'll die now, surely. There you go. And then with that, we are done. So as you can see, to me, this kind of setup is definitely the best way to go. I do think that ultimately you really do want to aim to try to get it up to what I would say would be the top, the kind of top ranked way of doing it. So aiming for trying to make sure you can get a copy of Data Hound through modification, trying to make sure you can get, I mean, is Catherine essential? I don't necessarily know if Catherine's essential, because to be honest, she's the one unit on my team right now that I am considering changing, if I'm being completely honest. So you can see here, all I did for the purpose of showing this off was I just swapped over the characters. So if I put these back, that's my team back to how it was. Everything's back to normal. And again, if I went in and done that same stage, we would just run through it. So I think the bleed broken armor setup is the best way to go. Don't get me wrong, burn does have its, I want to say, attraction. I will go over the burn team in another video. I just don't think burn is as powerful as the bleed broken armor setup, and it's mainly because of Eric. Eric is just an absolute workhorse on that team. He is key. He is absolutely key to that setup. Out of everything, I would say any group broken armor, any group bleed, any high damage AoE unit that will bring them down below 50% can work, right? Optimally, you want to use the units I said. The one unit who you really cannot afford to not have on the team is Eric, because Eric is just going to put the numbers in. He will be the MVP for you in every fight. He's rock solid. Probably, if you're using that setup, he is rank 1 in my opinion. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic setup, fantastic unit, and it's the best way to go. It's what you should focus on right now. And again, because of how this system works, if it changes later, don't worry about it, because we can just swap the units to something else. As simply as that. Anyway guys, I have been Hazink. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know what teams you're working on, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.